Hello, welcome back to the series. This series that you're watching now. In this series, we've been playing the best-selling games from every year since video games were popular. I've said that many times now because we started off in the year 1977. In this video, we're all the way up to the last of the old school platforms because we're in the year 1995, which is Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. There's a playlist in the description of this video if you want to check out all the previous videos in the series. This video is going to be slightly different to some of the other Mario games. Most platformers and Mario games I've done as a rage compilation because I've got so annoyed all the time. I'm having so much fun. I'm having so much fun playing this video game. Yeah, video games fun. But this one, I'm just going to give a brief review of the game. Basically, this game is quite fun. The graphics are pretty appealing for 2D platformer scrolling games. The gameplay from it actually varies quite a lot. It's quite impressive the different mechanics that Yoshi can perform, as well as Mario at certain points as well. And it's also quite impressive how much they utilize these mechanics for different interactions with other things within the world. There's lots of dynamic platforms, dynamic enemies, and dynamic things that you can do as well, which in combination makes for varied gameplay. The biggest bane of old school platforming games is the difficulty. Normally they make them way too hard. As I've described many times before, the reason why this is so bad is that you end up getting bored by repeating the same thing over and over and over again until you can finally beat it. And when you finally beat it, there's another thing that's just as hard that you have to repeat over and over and over and over again, often with having to repeat the last thing you've just beaten, and it just becomes just boring because all you're doing is literally the exact same thing. This game wasn't hard. If anything, it was a bit too easy. The main reason for that is because in a normal Mario game, you start off as Big Mario, you get hit, you turn into Little Mario, and if you get hit again, you die. There's maybe a few more complications, but that's basically it. In this one, if you get hit, Mario starts floating away from you, and so long as you can catch him before the timer runs out, you're fine. You can also fall off the map as well, but that's not going to happen very often. This means that almost every time you get hit, you can recover Mario floating away from you, which is reasonably easy. The only thing that wasn't easy was the final boss, but it's fine, I managed to get through it. I appreciate the fact that this was easy enough to just enjoy jumping around and getting through the game. It didn't rest on the fact that it had to be difficult to pad out the playtime, because there was plenty of levels that were all plenty long actually, and they used variance in gameplay to keep you interested rather than just dying all the time. Having said that, because it was so easy and it's still mostly just jumping, it did feel like it went on a little bit long. Other than that, there's basically nothing else to say about this game. It's one of my favourites we've done in this series so far, and I would say it's probably slightly less talked about from one of the best old school platformer games. I would play this any day over Donkey Kong Country, over Sonic the Hedgehog, over Super Mario World, over Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario Bros. 2 probably, I don't know if I played that one, and over Super Mario Bros. The original. I'd take this over all of those. So there you have it. If you weren't aware, the best old school Mario platformer is actually more of a Yoshi game. I hope you enjoyed my little brief review of this game. If you didn't know about it, maybe check it out if you're into that sort of thing. If you did know about it, you knew about it already. I don't know what to tell you. Make sure you like this video if you did enjoy it, and more importantly subscribe, because we've got more videos in this series coming up. They vary quite a lot, so whether you like this one or not, you might like the next one. It's worth subscribing, because next time we're going into a massive classic. The best-selling game from 1996 is Pokemon Red and Blue, the original game. So that's going to be a fun one. I think we're going to set a little extra challenge. Links in the description as well. We've got a podcast. It's all fun and games. Fun and games, because it's a series about games.